welcome back to my channel. Yes, this is going to be the very first visa related video. And I'm pretty nervous, I can say. It's going to be my first video. I have my laptop in handy so that I can refer to it at times. So yes, let's get started. So as I had told, this video is going to be about the H4 visa. So let us first know what is an H4 visa. H4 visa is a dependent visa. It is dependent on an H1 visa basically. So all the foreigners that are working in US and they need to bring their spouse into US, they need to have a H4 visa for their spouse or children. So H4 visa is issued as a dependent non-immigrant visa for the spouses or the children of a H1 visa. So once you have your H4 visa, you can come and reside here in US along with your primary applicant, that is the H1 visa holder. So let's look into what are the benefits that come along with the H4 visa. If you have a H4 visa in US, you can get a driver's license, you can open a bank account, you can get an I-10 for yourself, you can study, and you can also work provided you have a EAD. So H4 EAD, we will be focusing on this on a totally separate video. So this video is going to be how to apply for H4 visa, what is the application process, what are the documents required, and how to get started along with it. So yes, before we start into the video, I assume that we all have our passports. So I'm not getting into the details to how to get a passport. We will directly start on how to apply for a H4 visa. This is a 6-step process. So I list here the 6-step process. First of all, you need to get a photograph, a visa size photograph. The dimensions and the measurements required for the photograph, I have put it in the description box. You can go through that. Second, you have to apply for it online in a form known as DS-160. Yes. DS-160 is the online application form for all of these non-immigrant visa categories. As it goes, H4 is a non-immigrant visa categories, so you need to fill up the form DS-160. Okay. Now that we are ready with filling up the form DS-160, let me tell you an overall view of what you require. You will be requiring your passport details. You will also be requiring your primary applicant's details, that is, if your spouse is in the US on whose visa you are dependent, so you need to gather all the details of your spouse too, like his SSN numbers, his passport numbers, his visa numbers, his approval dates, and all the things that are required. Basically, a lot of information about your primary applicant goes into that along with yours. I will suggest that you give all the answers in the application correctly. We'll try to make it error-free and we'll avoid any sort of ambiguity, any sort of ambiguous questions in that, and try to keep this DS-160 true and fair as much as it's possible. So DS-160 is a 20 minutes activity, I can say. It's quite simple, super easy, and you'll be good to go with that. And if you want a separate video on how to fill a DS-160, then please comment me in the comment section below so that I can make a separate video on how to fill the DS-160 step by step. Now that you're ready with your DS-160 and you have submitted it, it's time to pay the visa application fees. Yes, it's a non-refundable and non-transferable application fees that you need to pay. You can pay it online or you can pay it over the counter. So this goes, if you're in India, you have to pay the Indian equivalent. That is, they convert it into the Indian currency and you have to pay the equivalent fees for it. The visa price, the visa application fees is different for all different categories of visa. So you need to check into which category you belong and get the visa and pay the visa fees accordingly. I'll mention what is the current visa fees for the H4 visa in the description box. So you can have a look at that. Once you have paid the visa application fees, you're all set to go and book an appointment. An appointment, when we say, we basically need 2 appointment dates. The first appointment date, that we call it as OFC, is a biometric appointment date. On that day, you go and you give your fingerprints. It's totally biometric. It's a matter of 5 minutes only, and you need a biometric date. The second appointment date is the consular appointment date. It is where you face the interview. So you'll be asked some 5 to 6 questions. You need to answer them, and then you'll be informed whether your visa is approved or not. So you need to secure 2 appointment dates on your appointment page when you go and when you try to book your appointments. So make sure that you try to get the appointments closer. You don't want a lot of gap in between so that you'll be stuck in some place. So try to book 2 dates as close as possible so that it's very much easier for you. So once you are done with your biometrics, next you'll have your consular appointment, and you're done with your interview, you are all good to go. All that you need now is to wait. Yes, you must have dropped your passport at the visa center, and now you will be waiting for your stamped passport. Yes, you can check the website regularly to see the status of your visa interview process. And then once you get your passport back, you are all set to travel and move into the US. So welcome aboard. So in our next video, we will be covering about the documentation and the interview. So what are the documents required? What are the documents you need to prepare and keep in handy? What are the documents you need to submit? And what are the interview questions that you can expect in a visa interview? I will also be sharing my own personal experience and what were the questions asked to me and how I answered them. So please stay tuned and wait for the next video. Thank you so much and have a good day. Thank you.